Part 1. The First Stirrings. The first time I noticed it, I was sitting in my dimly lit apartment, nursing a lukewarm cup of coffee. The air was thick with the scent of rain and old paper, the kind of stillness that made you feel like the world had paused just for you. And then movement. A shadow in the corner of the room, where the light from my desk lamp didn't quite reach. At first, I thought it was a trick of the eye, a flicker of exhaustion. But then it happened again. A slow, deliberate shift, like something unfolding itself from the darkness. Froze. The shadow stretched, elongated, and then stood. It was a man. Or at least the shape of a man. Tall, impossibly thin, his limbs too long. His fingers twitching like spider legs testing the air. His face was smooth, featureless, as if someone had sculpted him from wet clay and forgotten the details. And he was growing. Not in the way a plant grows, not in the way a child does. No, this was something else. His limbs stretched like taffy, his torso expanding, his head tilting at an angle that shouldn't have been possible. I should have screamed. I should have run. But instead I whispered, "Can you feel it too?" The growing man didn't answer. He didn't need to. Already knew. Part 2. The expansion. Days passed. The growing man didn't leave. At first, he stayed in the corner, motionless except for the slow, rhythmic expansion of his limbs. But soon he began to move. He would stand over my bed at night, his elongated fingers brushing the ceiling. I'd wake to the sound of his bones creaking, the wet snap of tendons stretching beyond human limits. His shadow would fill the room, swallowing the walls, the furniture, until there was barely any space left for me. And yet, I wasn't afraid. No, it was something else. A hunger. A need to see what would happen if he never stopped. One night, I reached out and touched him. His skin was cold, rubbery, like something pulled from the depths of the ocean. The moment my fingers made contact, his growth sped up. His ribs cracked open like a blooming flower. His spine twisted, his jaw unhinged. And then he spoke. More. Just that one word, whispered in a voice that wasn't a voice at all, but the sound of air rushing through hollow bones. Gave him more. I fed him books, then furniture, then the small keepsakes of a life I no longer cared about. With each offering, he grew larger, his form becoming less human, more something else. Soon he didn't fit in the apartment anymore. Part 3. The consuming. The neighbors complained about the noise. They didn't understand. They couldn't see him, not like I could. To them, it was just the sound of bending metal, of walls straining under an impossible weight. But I knew the truth. The growing man was pressing against the edges of reality. His fingers slipped through the cracks in the walls, his limbs snaking into the pipes, the wiring, the very foundation of the building. The ceiling bowed. The floors groaned. And still he grew. I stood in the center of it all, laughing as the plaster rained down around me. This was it. The moment I had been waiting for. The moment when the world would finally break under the weight of him. Police came. The landlord. Men in suits with clipboards and frowns. They shouted at me to evacuate. I didn't move. The growing man reached for them. Part 4. The ending. It's been weeks now. Or maybe months. Time doesn't mean much anymore. The city is gone. Followed. The growing man stretches as far as the eye can see, a vast, pulsating mass of flesh and shadow. His limbs like mountains, his breath like the wind before a storm. I stand on what used to be a highway, staring up at him. He's beautiful. And he's still growing. Soon there will be nothing left. No cities, no people, no sky. Just him. Me. Open my arms. Take me too, I whisper. His fingers close around me. And then,